and welcome to Here is VOD. I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Daniel Feingold. Thanks for tuning in. We're here to help you decide which movies to watch on your cable provider's on-demand channel.
We have a slate of diverse films to cover today, from a period piece with a familiar title that also incorporates zombies, to a drama that tells the remarkable story of Jesse Owens.
And along with the new selections, we'll go over some of the most highly touted movies on demand that we've covered on this show. Consider it a best of segment.
But before that, our first film this week flew under the radar at the box office, despite being jam-packed with stars.
999 is a heist flick full of crooked cops and stars Casey Affleck, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Anthony Mackie, Kate Winslet, Aaron Paul, and Woody Harrelson. My goodness, let's just take a look.
The rules around here different. You better learn fast.
How's your job going?
I'm trying to make a difference.
Police!
He's on the run! Get down! Get down!
We're family. Your job, get home at the end of the night.
Let's make this one for the books. Call just went out. 2.5 minutes.
Rapido!
What you got for me?
We're dealing with a four-man team.
They got pictures of my family. Be careful what you insta Google tweet page. This guy's the leader. You gotta ask yourself, who's that fourth guy?
Don't make me regret pulling you cops in for this. You all right?
Yeah, man. I'm good. You?
It's like the changing of the guards. We changing out the frauds. I give these lions heart like my name ended in Oz.
I'm gonna find out what you fixing to do. Does anyone believe something very big is about to go down?
I don't have a problem taking out a cop.
There's gotta be a different way.
I do a cop just like that.
Gunshots going off that'll awake the dead.
There is no limit to what desperate men will do when pushed.
Please respond, all units.
A lot of angles at play in the trailer, and if it's a bit difficult to figure out from those couple of minutes who's good and who's bad, well, mission accomplished.
It's all complicated and messed up and violent.
It's all connected is what my character's trying to figure out. Somebody's cleaning up after himself, and my bet is he wears a badge.
It's the emotional twists and turns of the film that really got me.
Does anyone believe maybe something very big is about to go down? The best thing is you never know who's going to get it. You never know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy.
There was something about this that was very, very pure.
I'm gonna find out what you fixing to do.
Your heart is racing through the entire thing.
It really is quite shocking. There is no...
Well, this comes from director John Hillcoat, who's built a solid resume. His previous films include the intense westerns, The Proposition and Lawless, and the Cormac McCarthy adaptation, The Road.
And critics did take notice of 999, even if it did fall flat at the box office. Several critics heaped praise on the directing, including the Los Angeles Times, which says Hillcoat delivered a sense of immediacy and realism.
Time Out London loved its old-school core, adding that it's a well-structured movie. On the other hand, some critics blamed a generic, occasionally incoherent plot for the movie maybe not quite connecting with audiences.
This is another case of knowing your own taste. The Chicago Sun-Times sums it up nicely, saying this hits the spot if you're up for a bloody B-movie with a top-notch cast.
So we're going to give 999 3 out of 5 stars. I would be up for a bloody B-movie with a top-notch cast. I love, like, everyone in this movie.
Everyone is really good.
Woody Harrelson, Casey Affleck, Kate Winslet, Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. Good to see that he's doing something that's really, really good. So yeah, I think there's a lot of these crooked cop movies that come out. We've seen them, been there, done that. It's I think the cast kind of puts it over the top to make it worth a recommendation.
Okay.
Well, how about this for a genre? Historical fantasy.
Okay, our next film combines classic romance with a bit of campy fun in this cheeky reimagination of a Jane Austen classic. Here is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
It began with the Black Plague. Within weeks, the dead began to rise.
It's gonna be.
Hunting for human flesh. Now, the few of us that are left have only one way to survive. We must bring the fight to them. I've been training for this my whole life.
The fairest wifely choices be right here in this room.
My daughters have trained for battle, sir. Not the kitchen.
A woman must have a thorough knowledge of singing, dancing, and the art of war.
I shall never relinquish my sword for a ring. If the right man, you would. The right man wouldn't ask me to.
We were born to be wild.
Well, now, this is certainly a different novel from the one I remember reading in high school.
This should be mandatory reading for impressionable young minds. It's history meets modern monsters once again, this one coming in the vein of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which were recent movies. And Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, as well as this one, were based on actual novels or books that were kind of parodies of the classic tales, one being a Jane Austen novel, the other just being Abraham Lincoln lore or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, what your thoughts?
I mean, being a fan of Pride and Prejudice and, you know, the book and the movie, I don't know. I just kind of hate when they mess up a good thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's exactly what they did.
I did like the perspective of the zombie getting its head cut off at the end.
Yeah.
That was up my alley.
I didn't like that. That's another reason I really, the violence is just a little.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's, I guess, knowing your audience, they probably, I don't know if they were gearing it towards like a wider audience or just very specific people who like
zombie people.
Zombie
people who like zombies.
I guess,
well,
yeah.
Most reviewers seem confused by that mashup here.
The Washington Post did say it at least delivered on what the title promises, but that doesn't mean they liked it. Some critics found the movie to be boring, while others weren't feeling the bizarre mix of genres. For instance, the Chicago Reader said this is neither funny nor scary.
Some critics like Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times did appreciate the dark humor, though, and you have others that like the ridiculousness of it all. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune found it clever and bloody good. Still, it's just too strange of a mashup for most, so let's maybe leave zombies for the action flicks and romance for the love stories.
We're going with 2 stars for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. When I first saw the trailer, I remember seeing it in theaters, and I was like rolling my eyes. I was like, oh, they're doing another movie like this? And then the zombie action came in there, and I think I rolled my eyes harder because I was like, there's no way.
You're kind of anti-zombie.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just anti doing
too many zombies.
Right.
Yeah.
But this, it just does not, I don't think it mixes well at all.
So
clearly it didn't. They didn't.
No,
yeah.
Clearly not.
Well, it's back to a reality for our next film.
We'll revisit the story of Olympic sensation Jesse Owens straight ahead.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Monday on ABC 7 News at 7.
They don't comment very well. They don't bring themselves to talking to you. I realize they have a lot of non-disclosure things, but in order to avoid a scenario.
County commissioners vote against bringing a successful company to Sarasota. Who's to blame? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story plus our roundtable discussion.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Our featured film this week recounts an iconic piece of American history.
In Race, Stephan James portrays Jesse Owens in his quest to win gold at the 1936 Olympics, held in Berlin in the midst of the Nazi Germany regime.
The American people need champions to remind them what they're capable of. Jesse, you're the best.
You're the fastest man on the earth.
Who do we have here? I'm Jesse Owens. You're a natural. I don't trust naturals. I will say, you can run. Boy, oh boy, you can jump. What I want to know is, can you win? Let's see what we got here. Problem, Coach? No. You want me to do it again? Yeah.
Jesse Owens sets a new world record.
You want to win a gold medal? Sure. You want to do it in Berlin?
Mr. Owens, how can you justify taking part in Germany when there's so much discrimination here at home?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Now where'd you boys think you're going? Just using the showers. Not until we're through, you're not. Jesse, you have a chance to strike a powerful blow. Under the Hitler regime, we must not go to these Olympic Games to show our solidarity with the oppressed people of Germany. You get a chance to be a part of history and you're gonna walk away from it? I got people looking at me for an example. I don't care about any of that! Yeah, well, you're right, Larry. You don't have to. People are counting on you. To do what? To get on over there to Berlin and beat those Nazis.
You was put here to run. Don't listen to any of them.
Out there ain't no black and white. There's only fast and slow. Nothing matters. Not color, not money, not even hate. For those 10 seconds, you are completely free.
Perfect timing for this movie on the 80th anniversary of the 1936 Olympic Games and ahead of the Summer Olympics in Rio.
The Hollywood Reporter notes Owens' triumph had long been overdue for a movie, while USA Today called it sports movie magic.
This is the true spirit of sportsmanship we're seeing here between these two athletes today. The white flag is up. 8.06 meters. It's a new Olympic record.
A lot of positive about this movie, including the wide praise for Stephan James in the starring role, but definitely some negative as well. A common complaint among critics is that this was a bit hollow and didn't delve under the skin of its characters. As the Miami Herald put it,
and Village Voice said it felt like history told in bullet points. It's of course tough to pack a story like this neatly into just one movie, but you do also have to wonder why it's only 90 minutes long. On the plus side, it's a quick watch, but perhaps it could have benefited from 15 more minutes or so.
And we don't always say that, so
right,
that's saying something. Well, if you're itching for a warm-up before the Summer Olympics, Race may be just the film for you. We give it 3 stars, and you can find it on demand now.
Yeah, it's very rare to say a movie could benefit for being longer,
in a
but
good
90
way,
minutes for, I think
for a tough story.
Closer to 2 hours, I think, would have been acceptable.
Okay.
Well, coming up next, a documentary focusing on a heavily debated issue in America. We're talking about gun control.
Plus, movies set in outer space have been as popular as ever these past few years. So is Approaching the Unknown worth a watch when there are already so many options available? We'll take a look.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community. On the next Black Almanac.
While top ranks of the Republican Party coalesce around Donald Trump, grassroots conservative activists are working to find a way to stop him at the party's convention in July. Angered by Trump's shifting views, conservatives across the country are studying the party rulebook for last-ditch moves they could make when the convention begins in Cleveland.
Sunday morning at 7:30 on ABC7. Music on Main at Lakewood Ranch. If you haven't been, come on out and see what you've been missing. The first Friday of every month, you can enjoy a free concert, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Catch up with friends, enjoy free activities for the kids, or make it date night. Whatever your pleasure, there's something for everyone at Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by these sponsors at ABC7. Monday on ABC7 News at 7.
They don't comment very well. They don't bring themselves to talking to you. I realize they have a lot of non-disclosure things, but in order to avoid a scenario.
County commissioners vote against bringing a successful couple to the Sarasota. Who's to blame? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story plus our roundtable discussion.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Katie Couric is an executive producer and narrator of this documentary that's just been released on demand.
Under the Gun examines the always hotly debated issue of gun control.
How do you feel about the fact that a person on the government's terror watch list can't board a plane but can legally buy a gun? Say that again.
I'm going to start by asking, how many of you all are carrying guns now?
If I have my gun with me, I don't fear anything.
In America, there are more gun stores than Starbucks and McDonald's combined.
We have more guns on our streets than we have people.
The NRA was quoted as saying, that's the cost of liberty.
Anyone who's on the terrorist watch list should not lose their Second Amendment right.
If you're on the terror watch list? That's a good one.
Firearms in the hands of good people save lives.
More guns does not make you safer.
You're with us or against us.
Under the Gun.
This clearly will strike a chord with people on both sides of the issue, though a few critics do believe the movie does a fine job of being balanced.
Yeah, Variety says Under the Gun acknowledges that solutions aren't easy or obvious, and The Guardian says it doesn't shy away from the complexity surrounding the debate.
On the other hand, while the AV Club mostly liked the film, giving it a B-, they did include that caveat that Under the Gun only takes balance so far.
One thing that seems unanimous, the movie will get you thinking. That's kind of what documentaries set out to do, right? Good documentaries at least. Another 3-star rating this week goes to Under the Gun. Well, I do love space and films that explore space, so I'm very excited about our next movie up this week, Approaching the Unknown.
Starring Mark Strong and Luke Wilson, is the latest imagining of man's trip to Mars.
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to Mars to live.
Requesting permission to kick off my shoes for the rest of the ride.
Roger, Captain. You have permission. Morning, Staniforth.
The ship is going 160,000 miles per hour, but I can't tell I'm moving. The sun comes through the window once a week, and everything repeats. I dream I was falling.
It's not a dream. You are falling. Hey, buddy. I haven't talked to you in a couple days. Everything okay?
I don't know if I'm on course. My ship isn't telling me.
Abort the mission. Return to Earth right now.
The mission has failed. But I can't go back.
What are you doing? What's going on? Did you just override the controls?
This is why I came here. To give everything up. For one moment. Of pure wonder.
Yes, as I said, I love these space movies. Interstellar is one of my favorite movies in recent memory, so I am all for this.
I like space movies too, and it makes you think about the world out there, you know, the universe that we don't explore yet.
Too. Him just being alone out there for that long, it's crazy.
I can't imagine.
Well, there's not a ton of buzz yet for Approaching the Unknown, though it did pick up an award at Sundance last year.
The few reviews that are out are mixed. The divide is over whether this is too lofty. You have the New York Daily News pointing out the overly philosophical dialogue, while the Arizona Republic appreciates the writer-director's effort to take on some big ideas, even if it is too much to handle in the end.
The negative reviews aren't that negative, so we'll settle on 3 stars. If you're going to check out Approaching the Unknown on demand, just know to expect more of a psychological sci-fi aspect than an action-packed one.
I think that's what a lot of these space movies are going to.
Yeah.
More toward, you know, getting in your head than the action of going into space.
Yes.
Pretty good.
And I know I can be incredibly confusing, so when we come back, we'll make sure to recap the movies we've gone over this week.
And we'll also revisit the best of the best, still available on demand.
Don't miss the 32nd Annual Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival, June 25th through July 4th. This year's festival features a kickoff party at the Sarasota Yacht Club, Boats on Main block party, 2 days of aquacross and powerboat racing off Lido Beach, bayfront fireworks, and so much more. Produced by and benefiting Suncoast Charities for Children. For festival info and VIP race day viewing tickets, visit SarasotaPowerboatGrandPrix.org. Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Don Brennan. In the fight against cancer, new treatments and important research often come to mind. But what if you could keep cancer away before it even starts? Well, Monday on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll show you simple steps that you could take to stay healthy. John?
We're watching the moistening of our atmosphere lead to more showers across the Suncoast. We'll give you the week's forecast bright and early.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you. Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community. Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
We had 5 movies new to video on demand this week, so let's recap how they all fared. Turns out pretty well. We gave 4 of the movies 3-star ratings. Just 1 this week got 2 stars, and that is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which, yes, is an actual movie title.
999, Race, Under the Gun, and Approaching the Unknown, all very different genres and all come recommended. And as promised at the top of this fine broadcast, we want to remind you about some of the best films we've discussed before that you can catch on demand now.
There are no 1 or 2-star ratings to be found on this list of recent favorites. So first up,
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
If you haven't heard of The Force Awakens, I just don't believe you. The 7th installment of the Star Wars saga got a perfect 5-star rating from us after destroying box office records en route to pleasing critics and moviegoers alike.
Stop it! Stop it! How can you dislike music? You used to play the piano.
How do you know that?
You told me.
We loved The Lady in the Van, starring Maggie Smith as a cranky older woman who makes her home the driveway of a playwright's residence by parking her van there for 15 years. Maggie Smith is on her A game in this one, and The Hollywood Reporter called it an award-worthy performance. Smith was indeed nominated for a Golden Globe.
We usually have at least one horror movie each episode. Definitely best one we've reviewed so far came just a couple weeks ago.
Unnerving may just be the best word to describe The Witch. The movie set in 1630 New England certainly does witches justice and may make you reconsider ever living around a wooded area.
Remember, there is someone out there for everyone.
I think you're extraordinary.
Why?
I don't know yet. It's just obvious to me that you are.
And finally, truly unique, Anomalisa is the first R-rated movie to be nominated for the Best Animated Feature category at the Oscars. This is not one for the kids. It explores some heavy questions about life, relationships, and purpose. The New York Daily News called it the Gone with the Wind of existentialist puppet movies, which I would definitely agree with that one. Anomalisa, really good. Definitely some heavy stuff. You gotta have to be in the mood for it.
You have to really get your mind into that one.
And it's Charlie Kaufman, if anyone's familiar with him as a director. Yeah, definitely a weird style.
Well, with that, we want to remind you to visit our website here is VOD.com for more reviews and information about these films, and then plenty of others that are also available on demand.